Hello everybody. Faitine here. Just finished up with an incredible breakfast meeting with a bunch of pastors here in Calgary. Sorry for the shadows on my face. And I just wanted to hop on live here and let you know something. So yesterday, the Justice Committee was meeting once again to begin to deliberate over some of the crime bills. Of course, many of you will remember that the committee actually delayed debate in deliberation about C-9, the hate speech legislation that, if passed, would remove sincerely held, or protections, for sincerely held faith beliefs. And so C-9 was, put on hold so some of these other bills could be prioritized because there's more agreement with these bills, C-14, etc. But yesterday, basically a motion was made that C-9 is coming back on February the 9th, that is Monday. That is only a couple days away. And the Liberals, I'm told, actually put forward a motion to limit debate down to just 2 hours. From what I understand, the Conservatives successfully pushed back on that and were able to hold that on base. So debate now is not going to be limited, but anything could happen. And so the chair of the committee seems to be in favor of seeing C-9 brought back to the floor of the House of Commons as soon as possible so that it can go to final reading vote, and then of course it would go on to the Senate. So just to say this, first of all, thank you to all of you who participated in the 12 Days for Freedom. It was so amazing. We thought through that initiative from the 19th to the 26th that we might be able to make about 15,000 phone calls. You guys crushed it. 40,000 phone calls were made in that window, but not a whole lot since then because, we tapped the brakes on that because we wanted to wait and watch, see what was going to happen, and we also didn't want to burn y'all out. So, but it's back on. It is back on, and so folks are obviously probably wondering what to do, and there's no other way to say it. You need to lift your voice right now. Time is very limited. If they truncate debate on Monday, it could be back on the floor of the House of Commons next week for final reading vote. We don't know. And so this is the window. Once again, I want to not to sound, too energized or intense, but we are never going to get this window back. And so very, very important to be making those phone calls. The list of who to phone is still up on the website formycanada.com. Right there on the top of the website, it says, I believe it says C-9 target phone list. If you've already called through the entire list through the 12 days of freedom, or for freedom, there is a bonus list. You can continue to call through. Light up the phones. I know that the phones were definitely humming during the freedom, the 12 days, for freedom campaign that we did, but we also know that they tapered off and the phones have been much more quiet since then. So we need to increase volume. Once again, make those calls, make them a second time if you want to. I know many of you just left messages the first time around, but this is a window that matters. It's a window that we will not get back, most likely. And so it is much easier to stop legislation before it's passed than to try to reverse it after the fact. And so this definitely matters. Stay tuned on my Facebook wall here. We're going to try to put something out that's a little bit more polished than me talking. Look at this. My hair is even sticking out. Than me talking in the Phil's restaurant. We're going to try to put something out a little bit more polished. And but just wanted to put this on your radar because time is so short. Once again, C-9, the hate speech legislation, which would, if passed, remove protection for you, for all of us, for sincerely held faith beliefs, is likely going back to the floor of the House of Commons next week, unless Canadians lift their voice strong and loud in the next few days and cause our leaders, particularly in the Liberal and the Bloc caucus, to think twice about this. So go to formycanada.com to get the phone list, and I will do my best to keep you guys up to date. Okay, there you have it. I'm going to go off.